Hello and welcome to another edition of Eye on Port. Eye on Port is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, and the Meridian Port Services, MPS. This program is proudly powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, this week we had an engagement with the president of the Women in Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA Ghana, who is now the secretary of the Global Association, WISTA International. She engaged us and updated us on the progress of the association, as well as her vision for the African woman in the maritime industry as she takes on her new role. This story will tell us more. Take a listen. Newly elected Secretary of the Women in Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA International, Jamila Jaula Mahama, has indicated that championing the cause of the African woman in the maritime industry remains top on her agenda as she occupies a new role. The Women in Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA, is a global organization connecting women professionals and executives to each other and promoting gender diversity in all sectors of the maritime industry. Speaking on Eye on Port, Jamila Mahama, who is the president of the national wing of WISTA, said she will ensure that industry policies support women empowerment.
Advocacy, championing the cause of women in the maritime industry is my prime or my prerogative.
Yeah.
I also plan on ensuring that policies of various countries, especially in Ghana, are well, as you said, gender biased, that women are given equal opportunities and women are seen and heard. And I plan on engaging stakeholders and policymakers to attain this, because it's very, 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 we have the women.
She said, while WISTA Ghana has enjoyed some financial support from some corporate bodies over the years, these institutions could help with academic sponsorship programs for younger members of the association.
So I think they are doing well.
Supportive.
But then, like the Oliver Twist that we are, would always ask for more scholarships, especially for the women to further their education. Because not only do they come back with knowledge, they come back with exposure.
Right.
Which is very good.
Absolutely.
To the young ones, I would say don't give up. Look at some of us and aspire to get to where we are today.
The Secretary of WISTA International also said her outfit has been keen on playing its role in the global sustainability drive for maritime.
At the conference, it came out, we had very good speakers speaking on, for instance, the fisheries preservation. And there was this from Canada, where they do they have the spawning grounds, and all fisher folk or fishermen or trolleys there's the awareness, they create the awareness of spawning grounds.
Right.
So you're not supposed to go there to fish, so the fingerlings can grow.
Right.
Coming back to Ghana, I think Ghana is doing very well, and that's why we have the fishing, the closed season.
Yeah.
Just for the fish to grow. And that one helps in fisheries. And like I said, there's the energy bit, then there's the forestation or afforestation, that when you consume, make the effort to preserve.
Absolutely.
And all these industries that we are collaborating with, that's the message we are sending out.
Across,
we are helping to sing the song and preach the conservation bit of life.
She touched on the contribution of women in the Black Sea Grain Initiative, which is an international intervention to continue exports of grain from the conflict-stricken Russia-Ukraine area.
They went with women. All the teams came with women. But for some coincidence, the women were out of the negotiation. So the second day came 2 women, and it was still not enough. And there were so many phone calls, according to him, around the world, asking why there were only 2 women. But even though they increased the women round the table, the initial two were became very crucial members of the negotiations, which we all applauded and which beat the drum harder to tell the world that, look, you need women wherever you are because we do it best, you know. And now, today, with the Black Grain Initiative, wheat is getting to everybody, even though it is not the quantity that we all need.
All right, away from that, we also engaged a chartered shipbroker and maritime lecturer who underscored the significance of industry-specific training for maritime professionals. Take a listen. A chartered shipbroker and maritime lecturer, Gertrude Ohene-Asieni, has underscored the significance of industry-specific training and capacity building for professionals within Ghana's shipping and maritime industry. Speaking on the Iron Port program, she said, providing the requisite industry-specific training presents many benefits for professionals and the industry as a whole.
The maritime sector is a very interesting area. You can be a doctor and still work on board a vessel, but you need to have your mandatories to enable you to specialize and work on a vessel.
Absolutely.
Or you can even be a cook and also work on board a vessel. So that it is a wide area and there's a lot of training to go on there for people to realize the advantages that they can have once they are able to get that professional training. So if you're an accountant, you have your first degree from another university, but you still need to understand maritime jargons.
Right.
Maritime industry thrive on maritime terminology. And so you can be there and be doing your normal rudimentary work without necessarily understanding the processes of the things you're doing. And that is what we seek to bring when we talk about professionalism. So training you to be able to understand your work scope. You can be a tally clerk in a port. But you should realize that you are dealing with the liability of the shipper, you are dealing with the liability of the carrier, we are dealing with the liability of somebody else. So miscounting means that somebody else is paying for it.
Right.
In the same way, if you overcount, somebody else is also paying for it. So how do we be able to make sure that you are not just counting, but you are counting because it is going to affect somebody else's liability in the industry? And how can you do that professionally? And make sure that you promote what you are doing efficiently and cut down on time, speed, and then cost. Because in shipping, any minute that you waste is somebody else's cost.
The academic, who is the first female chartered shipbroker in West Africa, said, Ghana can take a cue from Kenya, where it is prerequisite for workers within the industry to possess a foundational diploma from the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, ICS.
In certain areas like Kenya, it became mandatory that if you don't have the foundation diploma from ICS, you cannot work at the port. So these are the things that we need to look at in Ghana as well. How do we give the people who are working in the maritime space continuous professional development?
Gertrude Ohene-Asieni urged local companies in the industry to act more proactively when it comes to organizing training programs for employees.
It's always saddening to see that when you organize training, you have people from all the multinational companies bringing people for training, but very few from indigenous Ghanaian companies training their staff. And yet we want to match boot with these people in that. They invest a lot in training. And when it comes to indigenous Ghanaian companies, training forms sometimes no budget at all for training or very minimal budget for training.
She said the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers offers a vast array of maritime training courses which Ghanaians can take advantage of as the country plans to compete favorably in the international maritime trade.
So over the years, we have trained maritime professionals worldwide, and we have about 26 branches in different parts of the world, recognized partners all over the world. So we are a membership organization as well as an education body, training, offering 16 courses in maritime education.
Right.
So you can imagine all sectors of the maritime arena are covered by us. So if you're in the maritime sector, obviously where you have to get your professional education, just like when you're an accountant, you want to go for accounting professional. When you are in the maritime industry, this is where you have to come for your maritime professional. Exactly. To be able to compete worldwide, to be able to rub shoulders with people all over the world. And
Absolutely.
because it's an internationally recognized certificate, you can use it all over the world. And when you have MICS or FICS, behind your name, everybody wants to do business with you worldwide because your credibility is assured.
Gertrude Ohene-Sienim emphasized that the maritime industry spans beyond the port. She explained that maritime graduates and professionals can apply their skills in most industries engaged in international trade or shipping, hence should not limit themselves to the port.
I think when people talk about the maritime sector, they just think about the port.
Right.
That is a wrong notion. Every big company has a shipping department. If you talk about the manufacturing sector, you talk about there are so many companies that have shipping departments or that are into international trade. So I'll urge my students that they shouldn't be skewed in looking at just ports, GMA and Shippers Authority and a few agencies that are, but they should widen the net. And most of the time, those who get employed in these companies are people without shipping backgrounds.
Right.
And then they are trained to do the job and on the job training. So they should be looking at these companies and go and profess the knowledge that is being impacted into them to be able to widen their nets.
She expressed optimism for the cabotage law in Ghana.
Philippines alone have about 30% of seafarers worldwide.
Wow.
About 1.6 million seafarers. And they contribute about $6 billion annually to the economy. This is what we are missing. So we are training these people for marine engineering, nautical science, and they end up working in areas that are unrelated. We are wasting resources. Look at how the city is dancing. If we get $6 billion every year back in our economy, what will happen to our economy? And these are things that we can easily put in place by promoting our seafarers worldwide. What does a Filipino crew bring on board at a Ghanaian? I have put Ghanaian crew on board vessels. Initially, people have eyes, sort of rejection. Once they employ them, the testimonials we get far exceed the expectation. And they sometimes they request, we want these people again.
Wonderful.
When the vessels are coming. So it means our crew are dedicated. They are efficient. They are well trained. It is up to us to look for opportunities to be able to put these men and women on board vessels. And again, it is also disheartening to find just a few women getting into the space of marine engineering and nautical science. We have to be deliberate about it and promote many more women in this sector. So with the passing of the cabotage law, to have about vessels working in the Ghana maritime space, having seafarers trained Ghanaians on board, and also promoting Ghanaian-owned or registered ship-owning companies. I believe it's in the right direction. So how are we going to implement that and be able to make sure that our people are able to take advantage of that?
It's now time for your comments on the subjects that we have earlier discussed. When we come back, we go on break and we return with more news. My name is Audu in Takoradi. Is there any program for swimming instructors at Regional Maritime University? Hi, Audu. The lecturer says RMU has a partnership with Rigworld Training Center for swimming training on campus, and you can apply. Kindly contact the school via its website, rmu.edu.gh. This one is from Victor calling from Tamale. He says, is there any program that is health related that I can pursue so I can work on a ship? Well, Victor, the lecturer says there is health, safety and environment course which can help you work in the oil and gas sector as well as the shipping sector. This one says, thumbs up to Gertrude and Jamila. It is high time everyone in the maritime industry has a professional qualification like the ICS. The cascading effect of a professional workforce cannot be overlooked.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Gold Super XP Run 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Gold Super XP Run 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Gold Super XP Run 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Gold Super XP Run 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating great opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Welcome back from the break. Now let us take a look at some happenings within Ghana's port and shipping industry. A number of navigational channel buoys have been installed along the access channels in the port of Takoradi. These channel buoys have been installed to enhance safety of navigation for ocean-going vessels coming in and out of the port.
GPHA Crew Management deemed as an urgency to install these buoys to aid navigators in calling the port. See, as an international port, we don't have to leave the navigator in doubt. So the buoys were procured under a contract and installed by the contractor last week. Hitherto, the navigators were using their skill, their knowledge of the area, the pilot to aid the captain into the port. But now that the buoys are there, the captains are well informed and how to make their passage plan into the port.
As such, management of the port of Takoradi has embarked on a series of community engagements with fisherfolk in the fishing communities around the port. The sensitization exercise, which has taken place in Indrisia, Nkotompo, Poissy, New York, and the ABS Fishing Harbour in Sekondi, was necessary to educate the fisherfolk on why and how to keep a safe distance from the buoys when within the port's vicinity.
There is a channel. Shipbroker is from the airport to there is a channel.
The harbour master at the port of Takoradi also encouraged the fisherfolk living around the port vicinity to desist from the temptation of engaging in criminal activities such as small theft and stowaway. The Association of Customs House Agents Ghana, ACHAG, has held this year's annual general meeting to once again assess performance, take stock, and plan for the future with respect to the customs house business. This year's theme for the AGM was achieving state revenue target in the midst of economic challenges, the role of stakeholders. The Deputy Commissioner of Customs in charge of suspense regimes, Emmanuel Ohene, said, in addition to the rolling out of the e-auction regime, the division will introduce several initiatives and automated processes that will enhance trade and maximize revenue collection.
We have so far piloted about 3 auctions on the system, and once we are satisfied with the process, it will be fully implemented for all our customs locations. The post-clearance audit module and the rate schedule modules have also been deployed and are in use. There are several other processes in the testing stage, and once they all pass the user acceptance test, they will be deployed.
President of the Association of Customs House Agents Ghana, Yao Chei, said his outfit is happy with developmental initiatives that have enhanced Ghana's position in the international shipping business. The president of ACHAG, however, lamented the current economic challenges having severe effects on the shipping business.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to the policymakers, government, to form a very close alliance with the various stakeholders, especially GRE. By this, I mean policymakers should give considerations to proposals from these seasoned customs officers. I am highly confident issues like the introduction of the unpopular CTN, the uncertainties surrounding discounts on goods, variations in the benchmark policies, auctioning of goods and vehicles, the hula baloo surrounding the exit of GCNet, and the coming in of ICOMs could have been better managed. All these create unnecessary tension, lack of confidence in government policies, and uncertainties amongst the business community.
These sentiments were further echoed by the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obing.
The foreign exchange that we are crying, the shipping lines alone are taking a chunk and transport it outside this country. And we do not even seem to realize that. When they take illegitimate charges, it is about time that the report that we told for about 6 months or so to come with should be evaluated by the Transport Ministry. Send it to the Economic Management team for redress. We should not continue with these cosmetic things that we do. What we are calling for is that we do not have any problem. They should lump everything into the freight charges and pay us and charges. We'll pay upfront at the offshore.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has been awarded with an Institutional Excellence Award at the maiden edition of the Alumni Dinner and Awards of the Ghana Communications Technology University. The success of GPHA, according to the university, is a product of unwavering dedication to corporate ethics, groundbreaking innovation, and strong, decisive leadership.
The very first Institutional Excellence Award recipients tonight from GCTU. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Congratulations.
Okay, to the left, back to the right.
A leader in logistics service provision, GPHA.
The Director General of the Ports Authority, Michael Logoje, and the CEO of Meridian Port Services, Mohammed Samara, were both conferred with Lifetime Achievement Awards for their immense contribution to the port and logistics sector.
A big round of applause to Mohammed Samara, receives Lifetime Achievement Award. A round of applause to the CEO of Meridian Port Services, received on his behalf. Congratulations. And the next award goes to Michael Achagwe Luguje in the house. He is accomplished bilingual port management specialist, hails from Lavongo, and tonight's GCTU confers on him Lifetime Achievement Award.
Ghana Link Network Services, like GPHA, was also awarded for being one of the organizations and institutions recognized for making a major impact on society with the application of communication and technology in their business operations.
Please help me to welcome Ghana Link Network Services Limited. All right, so we will transition.
Let us now turn our attention to the global stage and pick a few international shipping and maritime news. Following a series of test calls, the new Côte d'Ivoire terminal in Abidjan, a joint venture between APM Terminals and Bolloré Ports, officially marked its operational and commercial go-live on November 2. The first vessel to be officially operated on at the terminal was a 267-meter-long CMA CGM Rossini with a total capacity of 5,770 TEUs. APM Terminals said that bringing the new terminal facility to the Ivorian and West African market is an important milestone, as the new facility is expected to facilitate increased trade between Côte d'Ivoire and the sub-region, as well as strengthen and bring new dynamics to the existing Côte d'Ivoire-Burkina Faso-Mali logistics corridor. For our word of the day segment today, we have the word contraband. A contraband is any cargo that is prohibited. This is the time we take a look at the schedule of vessels that have berthed in the ports of Tema and Takoradi. Those are the anchorages of both ports and those expected in the coming weeks. Also, the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, all Eye on Port content can be found on our YouTube channel, Eye on Port. Subscribe, like, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.